Under Paris lights, a number 10 in blue darts to the near post. The corner swings. The stadium holds its breath. Thud. France 1, Brazil 0. A playmaker wins a duel with the air and a final tilts. 12 July, 1998. Saint-Denis. A bowl of steel and stars. France in blue, Brazil in yellow. 75,000 inside and millions at home. A World Cup with a heartbeat you could feel in your chest. Brazil arrived as the holders. 4 titles already, chasing a 5th that would set a record. The yellow shirt carried a story of Pelé, of Garrincha, of Romario's calm in '94. France had never lifted it. They wanted a first star, at home, in a new stadium that felt like a promise. Names glowed. Ronaldo, the force in number 9. Rivaldo, left foot coiled and clever. Dunga, the captain who set the tone. For France, a captain too, Didier Deschamps, neat and cold-eyed. Emmanuel Petit beside him, stride long, hair tied. And in the middle of it all, Zinedine Zidane. Zidane wore the number 10. In France, that shirt is a poem. He carried more than a number. He carried the hopes of a country that had waited and worried. The host nation wanted not just a win, they wanted a night they would tell their children about. His month had not been smooth. In the group, against Saudi Arabia, he lost his temper and saw red. 2 matches out. Cameras followed him in silence. He came back under a hard light. Be the brain. Be the artist. Be the calm. And please, be the hero too. And the man who built the machine, manager Aimé Jacquet, had spent 2 years weathering a storm of public doubt. The press called his team too defensive, too cautious. They wanted flair. They wanted romance. Jacquet gave them structure. He built a fortress, a team that moved as a single organism, a solid blue block. He picked workers over artists in key roles, trusting that the system would free his true creators. He was stubborn, quiet, and he believed. On this night, his unloved plan was ready for its ultimate test. Brazil carried an aura. They had not lost a World Cup match in normal time since 1990. Then, hours before kickoff, a tremor. Ronaldo had a convulsive episode at the team hotel. The camp was shaken. Staff moved fast. Doctors checked him. No one knew how it would affect his night. The first team sheet landed in the press box like a thunderclap. No Ronaldo. Edmundo, his replacement, was listed to start. Whispers turned to shouts. Was he injured? Dropped? For 72 minutes, the world's best player was out of the World Cup final. Then, a second team sheet appeared. Ronaldo was back in. The official story was a medical clearance after a scare, but the truth of the moment was chaos. For Brazil, a champion side built on rhythm and flow, it was a deeply unsettling note to hear just before the music began. On the pitch, the shapes were clear. Brazil stood in a 4-2-2-2. 2 holders behind 2 tucked playmakers, 2 strikers up front. The idea was width from fullbacks and lanes for Ronaldo and Bebeto to knife through. Dunga and Cesar Sampaio guarded the middle. France set a compact base. Call it a 4-3-2-1 or a narrow diamond that slid. Deschamps and Petit formed the shield. Behind the striker, 2 creators. Zidane and Yuri Djorkaeff found pockets, then fed the runs. Up top, Stéphane Guivarc'h worked and pressed. One change mattered. Laurent Blanc was suspended after the semifinal, so Frank Leboeuf stepped in at center back. His job was plain: track number 9 in yellow. Read the duel. Win the first contact. Keep the line calm. It was the assignment of a lifetime. From the first whistle, Jacquet's plan was visible. France's lines were magnets, snapping together. The space between defense and midfield was a graveyard for clever passes. At its heart was Didier Deschamps, the water carrier, tirelessly shutting down lanes, making the simple interception, and giving the ball to someone more creative. Beside him, Emmanuel Petit's long strides ate up the ground, a box-to-box engine of blonde hair and relentless running. They were the blue wall. Brazil had the artists, France had the architecture. And then, the corners. Early deliveries carried pace. Near-post runs flashed. Teammates set little bumps. Call them blockers. Legal, but annoying. The ball whipped in flat and fast. You could feel a pattern taking shape. France were painting with set pieces. Minute 27, right side corner. Emmanuel Petit places the ball. He breathes. He whips it. Zidane starts central. He drifts, then darts to the near post. He loses his marker with one step. He meets it square. Forehead like a hammer. Past the keeper's reach. The net shakes. Blue shirts swarm the corner flag. Zidane does not roar. He drops his head and breathes. A playmaker speaks with his skull. The stadium becomes a drum. France lead the world champions, and a plan is working. Brazil tried to find their song. Rivaldo drifted, looking for a pocket of silence. Leonardo tucked in from the flank, hoping to create an overload. But the blue machine was perfectly calibrated. When Brazil went wide, Lilian Thuram and Vicente Lizarazu, the world's finest fullback pair, were waiting. When they tried to punch through the middle, Leboeuf and Desailly were immaculate. Every Brazilian touch was contested. Every turn met a body. France weren't just defending, they were dictating where the game could and could not be played. First half drifts toward its end, then the echo, stoppage time, a corner from the other side. Yuri Djorkaeff whips it with the same pace, the same channel, the same run. Zidane again to the near post, again the smash, again the ripple. 2-0, two headers, his only goals of the tournament, both in the final. The painter put down his brush and used a chisel. The stadium does not hum now, it roars. Brazil stare at the turf. France tastes belief in the cool night air. Halftime arrives with a new Paris. Saint-Denis sings. Flags sway like tall grass, and in the middle a calm figure with the whistle. Said Belkola of Morocco, the first African to referee a World Cup final. He keeps the stage steady. No fuss, no noise, just the right line. The second half asks a question. Can Brazil find their song? Rivaldo drops into the half spaces. He shoots from range. He tries to curl one through legs. Leonardo looks for the overlap that is not there. The yellow shirts probe. The blue shirts move as one. Leboeuf plays the game of his life. He wins his headers. He tracks the spin of Ronaldo's hips. He fouls when he must, and no more. He clears with the side of his foot, not the laces. He never panics. You can feel the trust grow around him with each minute. Then the twist. Minute 68, Marcel Desailly, already on a yellow, clips through a challenge. The card comes out. Second yellow. Red. France will finish with 10. The captain's armband moves. The line tucks in. Fullbacks stop bombing. Counters become the outlet. Now the siege began. For 22 minutes, it was 10 men against the nation's anxiety. Brazil threw everything forward. Yellow shirts flooded the French box. Crosses whipped in from desperate angles. The ball pinged and bounced. But every time it broke loose, a blue shirt was there first. The crowd in Saint-Denis became France's 11th man, roaring at every block, every headed clearance. The sound was a shield in itself. The blue line bent. It swayed under the pressure, but it would not break. Changes help. Patrick Vieira comes on with fresh legs and a clear head. He closes passing lanes. He keeps his first touch safe. He carries the ball 30 yards when the pitch opens. Every decision buys 10 more seconds, 10 more breaths, 10 more heartbeats. Time stretches. The clock creeps past 90. 3 minutes added. Brazil push everyone forward. One blue interception becomes a break. Vieira bursts up the middle. He draws a defender and waits. The pass rolls square at just the right moment. Emmanuel Petit arrives. He opens his body. He passes the ball into the far corner, low and sure. 3-0. The last kick of the 1998 World Cup is a full stop. Vieira raises his arms. Petit slides and disappears under friends. The whistle brings a night of color. The Champs-Élysées fills. Car horns make a choir. Strangers hug in the streets. Tricolors hang from windows and wave from scooters. The party spills into dawn. You can still hear it if you close your eyes. The victory was given a name that echoed far beyond the stadium. Black, Blanc, Beur. Black, white, Arab. It was a slogan, a celebration, and a statement. In a nation wrestling with questions of identity and integration, this team became a symbol of a new, multicultural France. Heroes like Thuram from Guadeloupe, Zidane with his Algerian roots, Desailly born in Ghana, Djorkaeff of Armenian heritage. They weren't just a football team, they were an ideal, a beautiful, fleeting vision of unity. That night, the tricolor flag belonged to everyone. France became the 7th nation to win the World Cup. A first star stitched on the shirt. At home, against the Giants, with a clean sheet and a plan, they conceded only 2 goals all tournament. They saved their most complete game for the last one. And Zidane, his year already glowed. This night crowned it. 2 near-post runs, 2 headers, 2 lines that defined a final. A playmaker who slowed time for a living won a World Cup by attacking the first post with speed. One more truth sits under the confetti. Finals are won by the many, by set-piece work done on cold days at training, by a stand-in center back who plays without fear, by a substitute who waits, then picks the right pass. Stardust helps. Structure holds the sky up. Said Belcola's calm remains part of the memory too. The first African in that role on that stage. He let the game breathe. He marked a quiet milestone that would stand alone for years. The stage needs a good conductor. He was one. Paris changed that night. So did France. And in the lasting drawing, a number 10 in blue lifts gold. Not a face, a figure we all know anyway. The cup is small in his hands. The noise is big in your chest. This was the night France beat Brazil 3-0. The night Zidane spoke in headers. The night a plan met a dream. If this brought back why you love the game, subscribe to Ink Pitch, football's greatest stories, hand-drawn. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, and wander the channel for more legends and nights. Until next time, keep the love of the game close.